still being paid. But his Attorney General carnage didn't just stop at the environment and health. He continued the homophobia of his predecessor by opposing same-sex marriage, insisting that gay people already have the same rights as anyone else because, and this is real, they also have the right to marry anyone of the opposite sex. Abbot based his anti-LGBT rights argument on an asinine idea, that the only purpose of marriage is to procreate, and thus gay people do not need to get married. So according to Abbott's own logic, people who can't procreate shouldn't be married. I wonder if Abbott knows a man who has trouble with procreation, because he is, say, paralyzed from the waist down. Abbott's daughter Audrey, like the children of most gay couples, is adopted, because Greg Abbott is a hypocrite. And by the way, many other people who suffer paralysis can still have children and healthy sex lives, just like gay people. As AG, Abbott argued for a ban on sex toys, argued against separation of church and state, and targeted ads at New York gun owners to get them to move to Texas and buy more guns, and paid for those ads with his campaign money, despite governing Texas, a state with 3 of the 10 deadliest mass shootings in history. Abbott blames gun violence on atheism. Abbott once said, "The problem isn't guns, it's hearts without God." What a sucking piece of shit, son of a asshole. And we haven't even gotten Abbott as a governor yet. In 2013, then governor and proud homophobe Rick Perry announced he would not seek re-election in order to further pursue his true love of embarrassing himself on a national level. Abbott's campaign launched and was funded by, you guessed it, fossil fuels, including Koch Industries. Abbott makes decent Texans long for the days of Rick, I'm somehow dumber than George Bush Perry. As governor, despite calling for 9 new amendments to the Constitution that would increase states' rights and virtually eliminate federal sovereignty, Abbott, from Texas, sought to overturn Pennsylvania's election results. Despite his alleged championing of the rights of private companies, Abbott introduced legislation to force private companies to play the national anthem at sporting events. He also signed a bill trying to prevent those private companies and others from requiring vaccination, because Greg Abbott believes that private companies can do whatever they want, unless it's not what Greg Abbott wants. Despite spearheading legislation to force cities to up their budget to allegedly protect police, Abbott, against police urging, signed a bill that allows for gun ownership with no permit, training, or background check. And despite Abbott repeatedly downplaying the effects of COVID, at the time I record this, Texas has more COVID deaths than any other state, and also most countries. Of course, Abbott, who was 62 at the time, skipped the line to get vaccinated anyway, in December of 2020. Now, not all Greg Abbott's policies are hypocritical. Some are just evil. Abbott has lied about the number of immigrants coming through Texas. Abbott has lied about the COVID status of those immigrants. And Abbott has lied about the legality of those who had been allowed in, falsely claiming that they weren't legal asylum seekers, when they were, get this, legal asylum seekers. Abbott has revoked the licenses of childcare facilities that have cared for migrant children. Abbott has enacted policies that allow for the arrest of migrants without any charges or legal aid. And in a move that was condemned by all 16 Catholic bishops in Texas, Abbott declined settlement of all refugees. Do you know how regressive you